Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.
Hi, everybody. I am Universe Badger. I don't know where Moon Tortoise is, and I have DDH the bubble. Nobody else is on yet. I don't know what's going on. I am still in shock and of something. I don't know if it was just me, but did you guys see or feel the jets or hear the jets? I did. I heard the jets. I don't know. Hi, everybody on TikTok. Anyhow, so I gotta focus. It was weird. It was weird. It was strange. Nonetheless, let's focus. Let me get myself together. I have to change my settings so that we are alive. Shown on Facebook. I can see your messages, Christy. Yes, I can. You have to sign out of StreamYard or show up in a hidden thing. You have to sign out. Gilly. Hey, love. Can you hear me, Gilly? Gilly.
My mic was muted. Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you. My glasses are broken.
Oh. Did you see the or hear the jets?
The Jets?
Yeah.
What?
No? Okay. There were some jets where I was. They were flying really low.
Can you hear me, Gilly? Really?
Yeah. Real low. So this title is something kind of important to me. And Chrissy's going to join. I don't know how. She also has StreamYard, so it's hard to join somebody else's StreamYard without it being in your coming up your information. So what you have to do is sign out of StreamYard to sign in. as a guest or something. I don't recall. I don't remember, but I had to do it before.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
nonetheless, go ahead.
I need like a teenager who can come and tell me how to do all these things. They should
Yeah,
rent them out,
they should. They should.
not
So
taken out of context.
yeah, no, I get it. So the subject though, oh there she is. See. It's
Yay!
Christy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm grateful you were able to figure it out.
Yes, what it did finally was showing me to go into my studio, but it actually was saying I could go into your studio, even though it was still my podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this technology, whatever.
Okay, great. So this I want to talk a little bit about the title in Awfully Orange. What do you think though? So the title is I choose me, peace of my, or I choose my piece of me. I choose my piece of me. What do you think, Christy, that means?
The peace you're talking about in relation to having the peace within or the peace around you?
I can't elaborate on content.
Okay.
I just want to know your
Okay. Got you.
about what the words resonate with you. How do they resonate with you through the universe?
It's a quiet, calming, when you can recognize that it's quiet, it's calming, and it's right into your spirit that you can feel throughout your body and into your core. And so having that understanding and recognizing that peace and making sure I protect that peace is something that I would say that means to me.
I like that. I like that. Gilly, the same thing.
Well, originally, when I heard the title, piece of me, I when I read it as peace of mind, because that's what that's what I'm used to hearing. But when I heard you say it at the beginning of this podcast or just a moment ago, I actually heard peace is PIECE rather than PEACE.
Okay.
And I don't know, it made me think of my kids, but so I think that's where my head is right now. But I'm trying to think about it in terms of just myself, because I think that's how you intended it.
Yeah. I feel that.
I think it's protecting the parts of you that make you feel grounded and balanced and inspired and all the things that you want to feel, and prioritizing them.
I like that. I can receive that. Peace, King. Peace.
Peace and love, family. How's everybody doing?
Good, and you?
I'm blessed, man. Working like a rabid dog, but I'm blessed.
We all understand that.
So I have a question. When you hear the title, what does it mean when you hear I choose my piece of me?
For me, that means neglecting anything else that's not associated with my peace disregarding anything that disrupts my peace, and fighting any and every instance of every aspect to protect my peace. Like, peace should be the most important thing, in my opinion, for everyone, because it just makes life that much more easier, that much more enjoyable when you don't have things that are disrupting you mentally, and you're able to have a clear conscience. You're able to give clear focus, and you're able to operate at the top of your game, because there's nothing holding you back and there's nothing weighing you down.
I love that. I love that food. I love that. So, can somebody read um Kendall's answer? It's in the comments below.
Peace can mean perseverance to sacrifice your well-being first before anyone else's. It can mean so many different aspects on what you claim, on what peace means to you.
I appreciate that. So, I want to explain why this is important to me. This is a very important moment to me. I had a revelation, almost like a aha, a utopia. I realized that I battle so many things within inside myself. And the only thing that I can do is get self-control to control my peace. And I choose me. I've been doing so well for me, doing so well with me. And I am unapologetically, transparently, just authentically me. And I come with the highest frequency, which is love. I'm rich. I'm rich beyond currency. I'm rich beyond spirit. I'm rich beyond. I have one purpose, and that's to gather in love and protect my peace. And that's to accept all of me. Everything, every part of me that I have held myself in contempt for, I have to remove. Anything that's heavy on me, anything that's weighing me down, I have to release. I cannot meet, I will not meet, I shall not meet anyone in their trauma, their pain, and their feeling. Because I can't, it's not my place. I can't justify it for you. I can't tell you if you're wrong in that feeling. I can't tell you if you're right in that feeling. It's your feeling. All I can tell you is I come with love, and that I contribute a lot because it's love. It's the highest form of thinking. It's the highest form of frequency. It's the highest form of anything. And I choose that self-control over self. And I choose peace. And I got me. I choose me. I choose that part of me. I choose, to me, I cannot meet you somewhere that I am not comfortable in, that I had nothing to do with. No conversation, no nothing, no explaining, nothing. I can't. It's not my place. It's not, I can't, I can receive it, and I can relate maybe, and I may be able to sympathize and have some form of emotion for it, but at the end of the day, I can't meet you there. I can't meet you there. And I won't. Not to myself. I fought so hard to learn to love me That was the hardest battle I ever had to do, was learn to love me through the belief systems of others. The systematic, whatever they chose at that moment. Because somebody's always choosing something, to believe in something. You want to believe in something. And there's nothing wrong with that. I choose me, though. Yep. So that's why I did it. And I had that moment. It was a utopia moment. And I feel as if it was the day that I was really, truly freed. Because that's my mission, is to have freedom. To not hold myself in contempt. And I will never go to somebody and say, oh, you're right and I was wrong and I should have listened to you. And no, I do not have to hold myself. I already recognize that I made a mistake and maybe you were right and that, yeah, it probably would have been best your way. I've learned that. But I don't have to grovel in that to paint and to coat and to pat your ego. Do you receive that message? And Gilly, I'm going to you next. Do you receive the message that of that freedom of release of not meeting somebody where you're not comfortable?
How did I know you were coming to me first? Surprise! Anyway.
I love you.
I love you. Anyway. So that's something that I'm learning now. And it's hard because it's in conflict with a lot of my value system. A lot of my value system revolves or at least has revolved around meeting people that make me uncomfortable, having those conversations that make me uncomfortable or make them uncomfortable, talking about the things that are hard to talk about, being around the emotions that are hard to deal with, loving somebody in their darkness and their trauma, or advocating for them in some way, coming to help out in some way. And I think that still is in line with my value system, although it's not in line with what I'm capable of at the current moment. And that's real hard for me to accept that piece of me that I'm sort of seeing now and learning to receive it with, I think you talked about what you offer is love. And I think that people undervalue that. And that was probably one of the biggest things that I offer too is love, is understanding, is a shoulder, is, validation, or advocacy or whatever. Because I don't know, I'm tired. I'm lazy around something these days. But my cup had spilleth over too much. And it's been a hard lesson. It's been a hard lesson, because when you let it spill to the point of emptiness, you no longer have things to give to those things that you do believe in and you do value. And I say that because I think there's a current trend in culture to, if somebody makes you uncomfortable, block them, cancel them, take them off your friends list. Like, we don't have to, we can pretend that people don't exist now. It's very easy. And that causes a lot of lack of peace for other people. There are people who believe they can use their children to alienate them from other, partners or members of the family or whatever. And they may use the excuse, I'm protecting my peace, but in the end of the day, you're causing a lack of peace for those children and for everybody else who wants to love them and be a part of their lives. There are serious issues happening in our country and around the world where people are scared and they need allies. And it's, protesting and advocacy, that's not easy work, that's not light work. It's hard, and it's not always peaceful. So I don't know, am I making sense? I receive what you said because I have to, because I know that's good enough too for if you learning to love yourself is hard. And there's got to be people who do both.
I feel that I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I can't put too much effort in no more. I just can't. Christy, I don't even remember what the question was I asked.
I think that you were asking about how to deal with conflict. It was something in that area about dealing with the uncomfortable. And so for me, as I learned to listen to myself and not doubt myself so much, even with hardships, that being in conflict is just in the nature of man. And I don't need to break it down because I'm universally about love, so no need to go through all that. But that's what I mean is that, and when talking about here in this country in conflict, because we do have social media, then people tend to run from what is in their face because they have another world they can go into. So we have to, no matter what it is, we have to understand that at some point with somebody that we love so deep, we got to learn how to go through the conflict. And you and Gilly made great points. And I think that Gilly was saying about with the spilling of the cup, overspilling it, and being of emptiness. And I remember that point when I was empty, there was nothing else I could give. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, lost all this weight and everything else, I'm like, I don't know, what do you want from my life, and so that's what the protection of peace is when going into a conflict, already knowing it could be conflict, that what the best thing to do is create peace, step back, cool off, because time does heal things. Time does give things a chance when you just be quiet yourself and get yourself centered and make sure that you're talking to that person correctly and be able to handle the reaction from their actions, if that makes any sense. So my thing is that we're going through it no matter what world we're in. Stop thinking that, we're never going to stop talking to people. We're never going to be doing that, but it's just going to be in different forms. So, you know what? Conflict resolution 101 is shut all the way up, step back, and make sure you're going into something correctly. Thank you.
Juicy. What's your response?
For me, I would say, as far as dealing with, the conflict of it all, like I would always say, you don't get to choose what happens to you, but you do get to choose how you react to it. So, it's your job to set these boundaries for yourself. It's your job to uphold these boundaries when you're dealing with each and every person that you encounter. and as well as holding yourself accountable, for putting these things in place and enforcing them. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. So you have to do everything within your power to preserve your peace, to preserve, your possessions, whatever it is that you value. The buck stop with you. So it's important and it's imperative that you always verbalize these things with people, and you have to be willing to go to back for anything that it is that you're requiring from people. That's the only way they're going to take it seriously. That's the only way you're going to be able to identify who it is that's really for you and the ones that are against you. And usually this is what keeps the wrong people away from you. And ultimately, uh, you'll feel better about it, knowing that this is something that you demanded and you stood for it. Because a lot of people don't set boundaries. A lot of people usually tend to go with the flow, and they take on other people's problems, sometimes not knowingly. So it's very important that this is something that you lead with, before anything else. It's just verbalize that you have boundaries for yourself, and that your peace is something that you're willing to protect at all times.
Food. Food.
That was right on. Salute to you, brother.
Food.
I appreciate it.
That's my 007. I swear that's food.
I know that's right.
I don't even care. Preach, King. So, Kendall. So, how important is protecting your peace, and what does it do? Let's say for the people that and put agreements upon you, for those that have violated you, like for the harassments and stuff like that. That doesn't lessen that, but finding that. We've done so many different shows, and it all boils down to acceptance and finding peace. So how important is that to you, and how do you deal with conflict when it comes to that part of protecting yours?
Oh my goodness. When it comes to conflicts and learning to what my peace is, I'm still learning what that is on a daily basis versus situations and things I'm dealing with and injuries on top of that. I just learned how to walk away and just be quiet and reflect. Any type of harassments, I just say something nice or not nice, and if I need to, I will. If not, then I won't. So it's up to the person how they wanted to preserve and accept. And if they don't accept, then that's their doing, not mine.
Baby, speak it. Speak it. I said I will never, ever, ever, ever feel like a problem to anyone. I'm so authentic with myself and genuine and pure with anything I offer. And it's all from love. Not because I want anything in return. Because of all I know. I am whatever I say I am. Because this is my life. And I cannot be I can't be affected. I can't be affected because your darkness is affected by my brightness. I'm freeing myself. I'm freeing myself from what others say, what others feel that I should know. Any of that. If it is not something I said or came out from me personally or anything I've done personally, then it's not of me. And I cannot meet you where you're at. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy doing myself from myself. I realize the battle is within myself. I fight me every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day. I don't want to fight another individual who's fighting them.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead,
Do
Queen.
you receive that, Christy? Can you receive that message and relate to that?
Ooh. Wow. Yes. Yes. That's one that you just blew me back for a minute. So I gotta get back to my senses. So you have to come back to me because that hit me hard. I gotta get a moment.
I feel that. Gilly.
I feel like I have to, or I'm gonna get some like universal like whiplash or something. Well, no, yeah, I received that. Because I certainly am not chasing down conflict. A good debate, yes, but just shit throwing. I think there's a lot of that going on these days. Too much of that going on these days. We love to see people in the mud, and it's gross. It's awful, especially because a lot of people are watching these things, and we can, we all have positives and negatives, and we can all relate to a lot of things, and it becomes something where it's almost like it feels like those insults are coming straight towards you. And so yeah, I can receive stepping away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I had someone come to me and said to me one time, "Don't you ever admit when you're wrong?" And I said, "Of course." I said, "But how do you want me to admit that I'm wrong?" I said to my dad, man, I just had such a revelation. It was crazy intense. I had goosebumps. I felt myself shifting. I go through these transitions and I know when I'm evolving and growing. I have very proud moments of I create the utopia within self. I said to my dad, whatever you've done, Dad, however you see yourself, just know that is not how I see you. Because you didn't have to. And you stepped up when no one wanted to. Even if I wanted you to step up more and ask, invite more, and you didn't, you still did though. And I was a handful. Boy, was I a handful. I made sporadic choices and I never ever thought of consequences. I always allowed the universe to guide me. And I put myself in places. My dad had to come and drive 6 hours one way to pick me up from a whole nother state because I made a sporadic choice. And I put myself in a situation that was harming to me that I probably shouldn't have done. And if my dad didn't come and save me, I would have probably been turned into like an essay worker or something. I stopped it from happening. My dad saved me from that way more than once because I trust. I didn't have love for myself though to raise my boundaries of what I allowed. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know who I was until I found out who I was. And I had to be with me. I had to sit in with me. I had to spend time with me. And I even feel that moment in every situation after a relationship, a job. You have to have those moments where you have to sit in with inside yourself, to reset yourself, to find yourself. Do you believe in that, Gilby?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you have to have moments that you have to sit inside yourself to reset yourself, to find yourself again in any situation, through any traumatic event, PTSD, anything, relationships to jobs?
Oh, absolutely. I That's another thing that sort of happened later on in my life than earlier, and more so as time went on. But and that's probably just the effects of built up trauma. Um, but because I used to act, in the moment, I wasn't a planner, but I took care of my shit. I took care of what needed to be taken care of, and not just for myself, but it was sometimes chaotic. And I think a lot of that has to do with never spending time with myself. I hate, those sort of superlatives or questions about yourself, because you don't, because I didn't spend a lot of time sitting inside myself. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Christy, do you find growth within resetting and sitting inside yourself?
That's the only way. And a person that has experienced a lot of life and a lot of trauma and everything else, if you don't, then that's what causes us to do certain things, to shut off from the world, whether it be people who have algophoria, for those, and there's different types of, levels of that, to those that just, just so standoffish. And, everybody has more friends online now than they do when they're walking, in their own hometown. And so we have to know when to shut it all down. We have to be able to say, okay, I understand that I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm doing this not for play, but, podcast, or, okay, I'm going to get on and I have a message, whatever it is that you got to do online, then do it, go ahead and do it, but turn it off. Turn off the TV, turn off all the electronics. Do not be afraid of what you're missing out on. Know that whatever you need to know is going to come to you, because there's sometimes things that there's nothing you can do about it. So learning how to sit inside yourself and be, for me, it's within the spiritual realm, and just going ahead and allowing my physical self to say, how life has been for you. And you're always being able to, no matter what goes on, that is the worst that's been coming at me, I still grow and I'm moving forward. You know what I mean? And I don't care about age and anything else. You can go ahead and do it once you learn that. Accept it. Why fight it? Embrace it. And you will definitely find that shift. And when people tell me all the time, I don't know how to be quiet, and I can't be quiet and meditate. And I said, you know what? You start just like that. The things that are going through your mind, and then you're telling yourself, okay, calm down, and until you get to the point where you're able to be quiet, and so people just don't want to take that time out. And it's about the willingness and having the willpower, the drive to say, you know what? No, I need this. Because when you step away from it, you find out that, wait a minute, I need to be doing that again. And then you go back into it because you enjoyed it. So that's what I think.
I love that. Kendall, do you find that you have to get inside yourself to reset yourself?
I'm pretty much like that on a weekly basis, just to get away from people. The fact I enjoy being social, but I'm also an introvert, just to get away so I can regain my grounds for what I do on a daily basis. It gets very draining and energetic all at once, where I get overwhelmed and like, I got to take a step back and regroup. And that's what I do. I do for 3 days in a row on some days. And so it works out like that for me. So I definitely get that, and it's got to do what works for you.
Just be. Do you have to get inside yourself to be able to reset yourself?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Um, an important thing that a lot of people seem to overlook, or they don't normally pay attention to, is self care and self nurturing. Um, you have to be your biggest fan and your worst critic, in most instances, just to stay even keel. And also, you have to disconnect from a lot of what's going on around you, um, and and live within the center. Um, just to get some of the ill-advised advice and the ill-conceived notions that that may circulate at times, or even just to change your outlook at times. Sometimes there's cases where um, we tend to get caught on that hamster wheel, and like I said, just going with the flow instead of questioning things, and really trying to modify or alter whatever your reality is. um, it's important, especially with the way technology is. I think Christy made that point as well. Just there's a lot of things that you could become immersed in that could ultimately lead you to neglecting yourself. So it's important for you to be able to identify that reset button, and use it as often as you can, in my opinion.
I love that. I love that. I had such a moment of like just love and gratitude, and I just overwhelmed with feeling of joy. I had to share it. It was a beautiful feeling of gift. I had cold chills. Just I choose me, and I will always choose me because I love me. All the things that I haven't experienced in life, all the things that um I have grew through, that I've allowed and accepted, are beautiful. Even the traumatic ones, I've learned so much from. I would never undo a thing because I respect me and I love me and I come from love, with love. I love so much. It's free. It's beautiful. It's the greatest feeling in the world to have this go to separate yourself from trauma, from PTSD, from things that are that you are unable to control, addictions. To have that control, that power over self. Forget the nation. Forget capitalism and all this other stuff. Forget what is going on. That battle of properly loving yourself and accepting you and choosing you. That battle of self, that of good and evil within self. I don't need to surround myself around somebody else's traumas and have them projected onto me when I already deal with my own within self. If I can have that control of owning self and recognizing self, that powerful tool of having that control, that weapon, that gift. I got it. I felt it. I received it. I appreciated it. I've been so grateful lately. I've showed so much gratitude to everything I touch, to everything I eat, to everything I see. You know that feeling of just overwhelming gratitude, Gilly?
Yeah, I've experienced it.
That's the stuff that I learned that I needed to focus on with myself. To give myself that grace, to give myself that gratitude, that overwhelming feeling of thankfulness. Because it's hard. A lot of people randomly trust me. And I probably could have, like, a lot of different people because I make things. And if they're not around me, please, I will not remember the ingredients. I'm all about whatever the universe says at the moment. My ancestors are in my hands, not me. And there's a lot of stuff in here. I promise you.
Mhm.
That's everything
Mhm.
I touch. That's everything I touch.
I know that's right.
Coming with love.
You know what I have to say, Queen, is that you're pouring out your fourth chakra that is spreading over the entire universe, all the way down to the earth, all the way down to us right now. And thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. It's that gratitude. Have you ever felt that, Christy? That overwhelming gratitude?
Oh, yes, I've been experiencing it, even though other things have been coming hard at me. I've learned to, and it's wild because we want to surround ourselves with people who will tell us the same thing that we will tell them. So that way, when we're going down, they'll get us up. And so I was talking the other day to my son, and I was really, being nitpicky on and hard on myself and doing certain things. And he was like, "Oh, for goodness sake, woman." He's like, "Give yourself some grace." And it's funny because that's what I would tell him, or my other two children. You know what I mean? That's what I tell other people is give yourself grace. But sometimes I need to be reminded too, because I'm going through. So you got to have those people that you can connect with that understand when you're going down too. It's okay, because I'm going to tell you the same thing you told me, and we're going to keep it going and keep it moving. And that gratitude of knowing that I have people like that around me is just the most amazing feeling. But most importantly, it's because I feel good about what I'm doing. I'm on my right path. And so with anything that comes up against you hard, know that there is such a big blessing and don't miss out on it, because you are being too negative, because we do go into a dark place. But listen to other people. Get talking to other people, because you're going to find that good team that is just like you. Like, we're all here. We don't know each other like that, but we roll with each other like that, because we have different opinions, but we're coming from the same tree. And everybody can branch off in different areas, but we still planted as one. So that's how, I look at things.
So, Kendall, you ever had that overwhelming gratitude?
Yes, actually, there's a few times that's happened to me, at least maybe 4 times in my life, I would say.
Tell me about one.
One, oh my goodness. Number one was when I recovered from my 3 major back surgeries, survived open heart surgery, and had a near-death experience, and then I'm still alive today.
And do you give yourself that same gratitude?
as often as I want it to be, sometimes I still get into this odd phase where like I should be more grateful the fact I'm still here. And I have so much things going at me constantly where I'm like, what am I doing? So gratitude is major right now for just having this simplistic gesture in life for what we offer for how we're being alive today.
I love that. Jewsby, you've ever experienced that gratitude?
Yeah, every day I wake up, I'm just grateful. I've had a overflowing of blessings bestowed upon me, as well as having some rough patches in my life, but all the glory I give to the Lord. I'm one person that I've dealt with a lot. I've also overcame just as much because I remain humble. I stay grounded, and I don't take anything or anyone that I value in this life for granted. It's important that you do it you can while you can. There's no other better feeling than just being able to extract as well as inject positive things into people that allow them to feel that same level of gratitude that you have. So I just try my best to share as much positivity as possible, and try and come through more times than I don't.
Every time you do, though, it's magical. Do not, do not, do not think of anything less. I'm telling you, you match that persona of the image I have in my head of you. That you come in clutch, man, with some food, them words and them bars, and just the whole reason that we do Unseen Twisted Truths, the whole reason that we keep our mental house clean and keep ourselves balanced, because we're going to be changing and shifting, and we're going to make Thursdays where we're in the streets, where Henry and I are in the streets. And we want to make a difference. We really do. And we want to talk to people, and we want to really hear what they're growing through, so that we can help them see a different path, different way of looking at things. I've told somebody, I can't do anything about how you see me. I can't do anything with it. All I can do is worry about how I see me. That's what I have to focus on. Because am I doing right by me? Am I accepting me properly? Am I loving myself correctly? Am I doing right by me? I can receive that you are having issues with whatever you're dealing with. And I am not judging you on that. But I can't meet you where you want your ego always petted. I can't. That's not my place. I bring you peace and love in a clean place and positive energy. And I'm good at being me all the time, authentically. What you see is what you get all the time. I love me, and I can give love. Anything outside of that is not my problem. The universe uses me. I'm a gatherer. I bring people together. I'm a universe badger for sure. For sure. A little forceful, a little aggressive, I was talking to my spawn the other day, and after I told my dad what I told my dad, because my dad has early onset dementia, and he's born in 54, so he's in 70. And I explained that you can't keep holding yourself over contempt of you just trying to figure it out. You're just trying to figure it out. I too am just trying to figure it out. So I get it. I get it. Drag the puzzle piece to its place. Give me an easy one. They like to make sure we're real on TikTok and not a robot. Appreciate you in TikTok land. And half of them I can't see because I can't. These eyes are beautiful, just not to look out of, to feel, not to look out of. But nonetheless, so I was talking to my son, and that first I explained to my dad, Dad, I love you and I see you as love. You didn't have to, and you did. So just know that. I know I was a handful, and I brought a child at a young age who you had to step in and be that father figure. You had to be that male role model for me because he didn't have nobody else. So I had to have you for that. And you did a great job. So you didn't have to, and you did, and I appreciate it. At the end of the day, I love you, and I have so many beautiful things because of you in my life. And I get it, because I too was just trying. To figure it out. I've made a lot of errors, and I too was just trying to figure it out. But with that being said, though, whose job is it, though, to say enough? I do not no longer have to hold myself in contempt of my errors. Gilly, whose job is it to say enough?
Well, it's one's own job to say enough. However, there are times when we are in a place, in a position of power where we can say enough on behalf of somebody who can't. So I think that's important to remember too.
Okay. So, Christy, whose job is it to say enough for you?
It is my duty to do that, to be the person that takes the lead. If I'm not taking the lead, then I'm just going to be a follower that doesn't know my way around. So I think that, yes, it has to be me. And I think that it's okay to be responsible for yourself and your actions. I don't know why people run away from responsibility and everything else. You know what I mean? Like it's something new, and it's not. Just take ownership. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to do the things that you need to do to make yourself within there, to find that big peace. And like I said, keep that peace and being able to come out not just confident, you know what I mean, but with so much love within it that is not mistaken for arrogance. You know the difference between an arrogant person and a confident person, just like I know you are, Queen. So therefore, with all the love that you bring in and everything else, it ties into what I'm feeling right now. That's kind of gotten me off kilt because I wasn't expecting to feel those things I was feeling. And everybody talking about it, and I'm like, okay, we're all in unison, but everybody's bringing up a great point. And so I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there.
Okay. So, Kendall, whose job is it to say enough?
Definitely myself. When I say I had enough, I had enough.
And what do you do?
I would take a good break and just regroup and reflect.
Okay. So, Jewsby, whose job is it to say enough?
For me, I'll probably probably attest that to like a matter of the heart. As much as I can stand, whatever that threshold is, I have to listen to my heart. Whatever I'm feeling, I have to go with it. Ultimately, I'm responsible for the things that I allow, also the things that um, I repel are more than more than likely detrimental to the things that I value, and there's no point in accepting what you feel is unacceptable, or tormenting yourself by dealing with people or situations that aren't fitting for you.
Drewsby, are you a Capricorn also? Aren't you?
I'm assuming the universe told you that. Of course, I'm a Capricorn.
I knew that. Okay. I knew that. I felt that. That was me too. So to realize that I can love you and not ask you to change who you are, because that is not my duties to change who anybody is. I don't expect to. If I come at you though and I bring something to the table beautifully with pure and genuine intentions, that that's all I can do. That's all I can do. Is be authentic to myself and to be transparent and to do that. I've never said nothing ever to anybody out of anger, and I take pride in that. I even talked to my spawn, like I was saying, I talked to my spawn the other day and I said to him, I'm proud of you. Not like it makes a difference, because 33. Just to say I'm proud of you in general, because, you got this. You come in clutch. He's a Taurus, and you're the type of person that comes in clutch with respect. You give people respect. You also give yourself respect. And you demand respect. And you always come in clutch. When they always think they try to cut you out and they try to undermine you into undermine you. You always come in clutch. They need you. They're there when they need you. And you don't make them feel bad for it. You don't say, see, I told you so. And I will never do that to somebody. It's bad enough what we do to ourselves. I don't want to do that to somebody else. Add that to somebody else's trauma. PTSD is real. And overcoming our own trauma within our mind, let alone trauma that someone else has put upon us, that we allowed for some reason, even though it sucks to say it that way. It's hard. So why do I want to fight and meet you in a spot where I'm not comfortable? I won't. I can't. I receive it, but I can't. I never will feel like a problem in my own existence or my reality for anyone. Do you receive that, Gilly, that you will never feel like a problem?
Oh, I very much receive that. I was the youngest in my family in terms of all the siblings, all the cousins, all the everybody's. And so I required more care than the others at that point. And there were always these little subtle hints. I had my kids young, and so without some support, I wouldn't have been able to do what I was able to do for them as they were younger and growing up. And there have been lots of times, even more recently where, you mentioned PTSD. PTSD is the biggest demon I've ever had to battle. It is not a joke. It interferes in it can interfere in every action or interaction in your life and rob you of the present moment. And it takes a lot to even start confronting it when it's been not addressed for a while, and when you're being bombarded with triggers for whatever reason. So I just lost my train of thought. ADHD is also a bear, I'll tell you what. And I'm gonna blame my ADHD. It could just be I'm getting old too. I mean, this could be premenopause. I don't know what it is, but mid-sentence I'm losing myself. So if I was going somewhere good before, bring me back. If not, just pass me on to Christy.
I've done that before. I've done that before just yesterday, and I am going through menopause. I did. I done that, and I said to my son, "I want to know. You know what I love most about you?" And I said, "Never mind, I forgot."
My mom used to start sentences and then just not finish them. And it used to drive me insane. And it's just these moments that you step back and you're like, oh shit, I'm becoming my mom. I'm becoming my, whoever. So I'm glad y'all get to be there for it. Thanks.
I appreciate it too. I am mad at you. So Christy, see, I forgot what I asked. What did I ask, Kelly?
I said I forgot. I started answering a question that I am guaranteed is related. That's all I can tell you. I know it directly has something to do with your question in some way, shape, or form. In my brain,
right in the beginning,
just went down a different road.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yep, it's okay. It's all right.
The wheel, and you should know this.
Kendall, what was I talking about?
I'm on the same page. I'm just tuning in.
Oh my god!
Excuse me, do you know what I was talking about?
I have no idea.
I think you were talking about. I know you were talking about your son. I don't remember the context though.
Okay.
I'm just as guilty.
The son thing was on the second half of the conversation. That was what we were talking about, forgetting what you're saying mid-sentence. So,
goodness.
I don't know.
There's a point that I wanted to bring up, if it's okay.
Yes.
That when we talk about conflict and trauma, it does not always come in the form of confronting someone else in a domestic violence type of way in relationships, or the harassment and things that you have to do and go through at a workplace or in school, whatever. But I just wanted to share that my trauma resonated and my PTSD went up, which I'm so glad that Gilly brought up, because it is the most disabilitating, stagnant into a whole different world of just sheer, panic, to where at one point I, passed out when I first was having them a decade ago. So, but to say that when conflict, that and when my sister died in December of 2023. And so we had to make the decision, me and my niece, about when to pull the plug. And so she was getting, gripey, and I'm trying to calm her down, because this isn't not something new, but even though I'm brokenhearted, because that's my oldest sister, my eldest sister, all of our eldest sisters, because it was 4 of us. So, there was 4 of us. So, it was something to see that when we had to make that choice, and then me and my niece rammed heads. And I was taking, a lot of the whiplashing from her, and we were misunderstanding each other. So sometimes it takes, somebody else that we can go to help us, resolute some things. But the trauma of having to make that decision and stand by it, because that was the best thing for her, and to watch her die, gasping for air, it changed me, of course. And I'm still, trying to be okay with the factor that what I saw and what I know with the conflict of having to take away her life, but also the trauma of seeing her just actually, take her last breath. So trauma comes in different ways. So when we talk about different solutions for people that we're doing ourselves, or we're taking from each other and growing with it, then definitely just calm down and get a grip. Everything's going to be okay. Everybody's overwhelmed. Trauma, whichever way it comes in a form, and there may be conflict in there, even when you don't want it to be a conflict, like what I went through. You learn how to bring things back into a balance, even, you know what I mean? Because of course she was scared, you know what I mean? But the way that things get handled is the way how productively me, my son, and her were right there together. And so that was something that we just can't, avoid. Or a funeral, certain things like that, where, okay, what can you do? So we have to take from the small things to the biggest things, and say, when there's some things that are just out of our hands, it's out of our hands. There's nothing that we can do about it, and we can't feel guilty when it's something that is traumatizing you. Hold your peace, hold your ground. You don't have to be an asshole about it. Just go ahead and use your voice and put that bass in it and say, no, wait a minute. This conflict right here, somebody's got, I don't care if you're going to take the lead or not. I got to try to be as strong enough to go ahead and take the, go ahead and just go in there and be of a calm voice, of a sensible voice when trauma is going on around. And with all the things that are going on now, and me understanding the PTSD, then I am pushing myself harder in the endeavors with the anthology that I'm in, and the Professional Pulse magazine I'm in, doing a voice acting for the Star Trek's fan film. All these different things came to me, within end of December of 2024. So that gives you more, you get to be able to really center in and do more, because trauma is going to come, conflict is going to come. It doesn't have to be somebody who's coming after you. It works in all ways of finding your peace and being within yourself and taking it down, because you can do it. Thank you.
Kendall, can you read that comment by Chili Mo?
Of course. Let's see. Releasing generational traumas or intergenerational traumas, oh my goodness, is important too. This could be manifest in mental health issues, behavioral patterns, and even biological changes that could be passed down to our families and friends.
And what do you think of that?
It's very true, but there are different ways how you can break types of traumas as well.
Exactly. So explain a few. How many ways can you break trauma?
I would say when it comes to family traumas, generational traumas, and even self-inflicted traumas, sometimes there's different ways for how you can just be open that way, and you have the power to break it off yourself. It takes time and patience to do so.
Consistency is key, right?
Yeah.
So, have you dealt with your own demons within yourself, and what have you done to be able to handle them, like the PTSD or whatever is your trauma?
When it comes to my traumas, it's very abrupt and very random, I would say. Some days it comes out of nowhere where I can't breathe. And then when I have those moments, I realize it's like an anxiety trauma that's from the past as well. So my way of coping is through music and arts, and that's my way of self-expression. When I can't speak, it speaks for me.
I can appreciate that. Jewsby, your trauma, or PTSD or whatnot, your demons within self, confronting them and dealing with them. How have you been able to?
I would say just spending a lot of time uh, within myself, figuring out what it is that I get up for, as well as the things that throw me off kilter, and attacking them head on. Any problem I feel that I may be dealing with, um, more often than not was self-inflicted. So, um, there's there's times when you can ignore things, and they may not bother you as much, but um, it's always important for you to just take these things head on, and don't allow them to keep you in that dark place, quote unquote. Always remember that every day you wake up is another day for you to get it right. So there's no sense in being too hard on yourself, and taking pride in handling situations on your own internally, and not always trying to outsource solutions for these certain problems.
I agree. I agree. I come to realize that, the problem that I deal with is within self. And once I realize that I have to stop battling me and trusting self and seeing self through the eyes that I know that I am, not through somebody else's trauma, not through somebody else's PTSD, not through somebody else's pain, through my eyes. Because I love me. And I got this. And everybody should feel that way, though. It's your life. Really. You're going to keep on repeating cycles. I learned that what my insanity, what my moment of repeating the same thing and expecting a different outcome is, I'm an enabler. I enable people. I allow people to be exactly what they're supposed to be, and I accept what they are. I enable. And in order for me to stop repeating that cycle and stop accepting that, changing that behavior, I'm going to continue repeating it. That's my toxic trait of self, if you may, just for purpose of words. DDH.
How you
Hey,
guys doing tonight?
hey, husband, peace.
Hello, brother.
My God, what's the word?
How you guys doing? I just was listening and enjoying this conversation. They're definitely having a good conversation.
So, what's the title? What's the title mean to you?
I choose my piece of me. The title means, I mean, basically, what it say, you got to choose your piece over everything. You know, sometimes within my life gets chaotic, and this is just to me personally. And I feel like life is pressured, and it's just some days is just all over. But I think that the important thing is it's all about how you control it. Whether you just allow the things that are designed to destroy your peace or that aren't peaceful at the moment of time to just if you're going to let it overcome you, or if you just going to uh, say, you know what, I'm going to channel my inner peace and just handle things in a more calm way or a different outlook on it as far as it goes.
So, have you ever witnessed your demons within self, and how do you overcome them?
Uh, Try to talk to somebody you can talk to about or try to do shadow work, or just I don't know. I've always said that I'm a good candidate when it comes to overcoming demons because I've battled them in every single which way that you can think of that life can throw. That's why we're down here. So I just find that it's best to just find a way to cope with them. Take a look at them. Sometimes if you can identify what they are, then that's how you can conquer them. And I've learned that every single one that I've battled against, I've always conquered. And so
So, how can you tell somebody who is dealing with their own demons what it's like being inside yourself? What are those steps that you have to do to get yourself inside yourself?
well, at first identifying it, identifying it, then facing it, and then conquering it. So if you know like what the problem lies within, what you battling yourself about, you can identify it, do research on ways that you can conquer them and beat them, and then just tackle them. Then that's the best advice that I give. Like I said, I've battled them, and there ain't one that I ain't defeated yet.
I can receive that. I can receive that. So, what's your positive message that you want to pass on?
To if you are in a negative headspace, just try to use new thinking to get up out of it. I think a video I just made today is just realize that whatever tough time you're going through, it don't last forever.
Okay, okay. Can you read this message from your friend Chilling Mo?
He says, surrendering yourself from your own subconscious takes courage and strength. Letting go of controlling habits is the first step and allow things to manifest for you. I agree. I do agree with that.
All righty then. Thank you, husband, for coming on. Love you.
All right, love you
Take
guys,
care.
man. Keep
Be
up the good
blessed.
work. You too.
Love, bro. Congratulations too, by the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys. I'm excited. It still doesn't feel real, but I appreciate you guys.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
All right,
So Gilly, your positive message, in a dark place, and to be that voice, for you are my voice. So be that voice. What can you tell someone?
I'm pausing because I want to be thoughtful about it. So just give me a moment.
It's okay.
Sometimes there is no explanation. And even if there was, it wouldn't make a difference. But know your strength and celebrate all the things about you that are unique and that will help you build a way out. And you can always come home.
I love that. I love that. That's so beautiful. Chrissy, your positive message for somebody who's in a dark place. Help them get out.
First of all, take the time to not judge or anything and recognize how dark of a place you're in. When you recognize that, then own up to, okay, you know what? I got to deal with this. And DDH said it, so I don't need to go into that part because he spoke well on that part. So for me, it's when I've been in that darkness, I started letting a little bit of light shine in until the point where even on my darkest days, I can actually look at the sun, or look at the rain, the snow, whatever's going on, and just be at peace and just be like, okay, just don't. Some things, as Kendall said, that things are out of your hands. There is nothing you can do about it, as I was saying before, too. So we have to learn that in that darkness, go ahead and put in a little sunlight. That's in the physical sense, whether it be, opening up your curtains and go ahead and getting some of that fresh air, going outside, talking to the right kind of people, and we can find them more. We're on social media as well as, you start to meet the people in your hometown through social media. And so then that way you can start building and understand that time is not something you're going to have to be worried about. Just don't drag. But time, you don't know how much long it's going to take. But don't worry about that. Catch it early enough to where you can take the steps of the recognition, understanding it, not putting it out on other people and watching that. And meantime, getting the help that you need, whatever steps that you need. And don't be afraid to go outside of the box. When you're talking to somebody who can be a spiritual guide, a healer, a prophetess, or anything that goes on, sometimes people have words for you and you don't have to be in that faith, in that religion, to understand about faith and about a higher power. I'm going to come one more second to understanding, everybody, that we have the earth, we have the whole type of universe, and all the things that go on in the universe alone affects us. So even if you don't believe in a God, then understand that with the universe, when they're talking about all the stars and what they mean, all these different things. It does have meaning to it. And from yoga and all that types of things, people say it's taboo, but doing certain things that's outside of the box and knowing that, you know what, I don't have to give up my religion to understand what this is going to work for me. And I stepped out the box, and that's what got me out of darkness to be able to shine.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Queen.
Kendall, what got you out of darkness and got you to shine? Kendall.
Oh my goodness. Well, all what I can say is keep moving forward. Don't let anything stop you. No matter how hard things may get in life, don't let it weigh you down.
I love that. Jewsby. Your darkness turned to light.
As always, just keep your mental house clean. Accountability is the highest form of love that you can offer yourself as well as others. So, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take on the responsibility of making yourself happy. Because ultimately, that's where it all lies. It all lies within you. So, it's up to you to channel these emotions. It's up for you to hone and nurture these emotions the proper way in order for you to reflect the positivity and, in turn be order and be able to give it back to the world, I would say.
Yes. And Jewsby, I need you on a spoken word song with me.
Oh, I'm game for sure.
Okay. So, anyways, I would like to say, my piece of wisdom that I've realized in my shift, in my chain, in my flow of receiving is that, yeah, I miss Henry too, is that love yourself and stop the labels and the all this other stuff. That's why we decided to change our names, is because I don't want to be known for something that's holding me to this realm when I'm freeing myself to a light energy of awe, of oneness, of togetherness, of the being that I am, without the label, without the name, without that judgment of others. So upon me, because of their own insecurities, I can't meet you there. I don't want to. I don't have that urge to meet you there. I really don't. And I love everybody in their journey that they're dealing with in life. And I want you to trust yourself more and stop doubting yourself and realize this is your purpose. Know it. It's all illusion. Paint your reality however you want it to. Matter only exists when you give it attention. So stop giving the negative attention. And maybe it won't matter. I don't know. My opinion. Thank you for allowing us into your home, your heart, your ears, your time, your soul. I love you. Your spiritual hug. Peace and love, everyone.
Heart to everybody. Thank you.
Peace and love.
Love.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom of the truth is, with our hearts uncovered. Where detox from all of the lies you smothered. What them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. That's Hugo's regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap that can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen. Conversation rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice who the ears that are listen. Who the ears that are listen. We the ears that are listen.
It's on, you tell the truth.